Hi there, I'm Apur Raj Adani from Team CubeRoot. We have created our project with a Chrome extension to manage and take attendance in online classes. Since in this pandemic era, the majority of classes are being taken online, it's hard to manage attendance in online classes since many students tend to bunk online classes and pretend to be attending the classes by turning on the video meet link and turning off their mic and video. So let's see our project demo. The teacher will register on our registration page. Let's say Mr. Sharma at the rate xyz.com. Sharma registered, and let's log in. Let's add batches. I've already assigned some meet links for these batches. Let's say geography, and the meet link is this. Add one more batch, physics, and the meet link is this. So now the classes are going to start. So now our physics class is going to start. The teacher is joining the meet link. He will log in to his account using the Chrome extension. So now professor is signed in. Now let's admit all students. Now take attendance of these students. Everybody mark present except this student, so his attendance would not be counted. Similarly, for a second turn, the teacher again takes the attendance. This time everybody mark themselves as present, so everybody's attendance would be counted. Now again coming to our website, let's log in the teacher. Our batches. Let's see the physics class attendance. So this guy and this guy mark their attendance both the times, so their attentivity in the class is 100%, and this fellow marked the attendance only once out of the two attendance taken, so his attentivity was 50%, and all other students who had not marked any one attendance out of the all attendance taken, their list of names would not be shown, hence they would be marked completely absent. So now coming to the code overview section, this is the codes for the host extension. This is the manifest file. It takes the version, name, description, the icons, page action. Since this is a page action Chrome extension, it will work only if a specific website is opened, which is in our case the Google Meet. And the background script is event page.js, and the content scripts are as defined. It requires permission for Google Chrome API storage, tabs, and access the backend and the website. Coming to the content, coming to the pop-up.html, this is the pop-up which appears. It contains email, password, sign in, take attendance, and sign out fields. As per the user status, if it is logged in, then it will show only take attendance and sign out fields, and if the user is not logged in, it will show email, password, and sign in fields. So let's log in. Since now we are logged in, it shows take attendance and sign out fields. These fields are defined as here. Coming to the content.js, as soon as the Google Meet website is opened, this line is triggered, which sends message to event page.js to to make this Chrome extension activated and visible. And now coming to the popup.js, it defines click listeners for all the buttons which we have already defined in HTML. And as soon as this popup.js script runs, it checks whether a user info is stored on the local storage of Chrome. If a user is already logged in, then it sets the content of the HTML page as required. And now when the sign in button is clicked, it takes email and password from the HTML field and sends it to a post request. And if the login is successful, then sets the HTML tags as per the required login or logged out user state and stores the UID which comes in response and email and token in the local storage. And when take attendance button is clicked, it brings back the user ID token and meet ID from local storage and sends a post request to the given endpoint with meet link and user ID with the JWT token. And on successful response, it closes the pop-up, which is signaling a successful response. And sign out button is very simple. It sets the local storage of user info to none and none, and sets the HTML as per a user is logged in or logged out state. Now coming to the attendee Chrome extension code, similarly we have defined the manifest file, the name, version, description, icons, and the page action, what pop-up it will open, the background scripts, and the website for which it will be activated, and permissions. It asks permission for identity to extract the information through which it will confirm the user currently logged in to the Meet. The pop-up HTML is simple. It just shows happy learning and integrates a pop-up JS script which just console logs the email and Meet ID from local storage. The content.js injects an HTML code which will keep the pop-up for the attendance, which we have already seen in the demo, and it defines the CSS for this pop-up. When the present button is clicked, it takes the Meet ID and email and sends it to the background script, and the background script will run a post request. And when attendance is triggered, it will display the block which we have injected here, and it will set a timer on the attendance pop-up which we have already seen in the demo. Now coming to page event page, which is the background script. uh, it defines the public vector key which is used for push notifications, and it identifies the user and stores the email ID on the local storage of Chrome storage API, and it listens on message from the service worker for any notification trigger for attendance, and on mark attendance which is triggered from here, it marks the attendance by sending a post request with the email and meet link of the user to the backend server, and show page action is triggered by this, which sets this Chrome extension as active on the Meet website. Here it runs the service worker which will listen to any push notifications, and the service worker is registered here, and it will extract the subscription token object from push manager, and it will use it to send a post request to the backend server where it will store the token for sending push notifications. The service worker will listen to the push notifications triggered from backend. This is our Node.js based Express server which will trigger notifications using this endpoint of post request, which takes an array of token objects and triggers notification to all these tokens with a payload.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I'll be giving you the tour of the website and the API endpoints of the project. So once a user comes in, a teacher comes in and logins with his credentials. Let me give you an example. Once a person logs in, he could see all the batches that he has created, and with this add batch button, he could create a new batch. Say suppose be it and add the meet link. This meet link would be unique for a batch, so we can't create multiple batches with the same meet link. So as you can see, this batch one got created, and once you click on the batch link, you get all the attendances date wise, and once you click on the date, you get all the attendance responses which were sent in by the students. Now moving on to the API endpoints for the extension. I created an endpoint for login for a user from the extension. So once in this endpoint, this takes in email ID and password as in the body. So once we send in the request, we get the user ID of the person who has logged in, and the token. This token and this ID would be required for sending in subsequent requests. Like the next request would be taking attendance from the teacher side. So as you can see in this, we pass in the sender, which is the ID of the user and the meet link, and in the header of this request, we add in the token that we just got. Yeah. So let me add in the new token. So once we send in the request, we just created a new attendance request, which would also trigger and push notification for the students who are active on this link. And the response time by default is 120. We can also define, add a new key over here for the response time and manipulate it from here. So and the user will not be able to send a response once this response time is over. So this when we now we come on to the attendance response part, which would be sent in by the student. So this takes in the meet link and the email ID of the user as a parameter. And once we send a request, so as you can see, the status is 201, which means that the user who sent in the request, the response of the user was saved. And as you can see over here also, the percentage of the attendance gets updated. And let me change in the email ID of the user and send in the request once again. So as you can see, now the percentage of attendance of this user also would change to 66%. And let some time pass. So after so that you can see that after 120 seconds, no request would be accepted. This also got accepted because 120 seconds didn't pass. You can see now the 120-second time limit got exceeded. So we got that the attendance got expired. So now the student could not send requests for attendance. So that was all about the backend of the website.